Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the KitchenAid Refrigerator Thermistor. It's going to be a very easy repair and it'll only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new thermistor. The thermistor is located in the control panel in the fresh food section, and it's what tells the control board how cold the fresh food section is. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's failed and the fresh food section is the wrong temperature. In order to change the part, the first thing we have to do is open up the refrigerator door. With the refrigerator door open, we can reach in with our Phillips screwdriver and remove the screws that hold these covers on. Once you have this cover off, there's one wire holding that in there. That's the thermistor. You can just leave that there. And then we can go over to the freezer section and take out the covers on that side. Once you have it open, you can take the stuff off the top two shelves and pull those shelves out and set them aside. All you have to do is lift up on them and then pull them out. Once you have them out, you can set them aside. We're going to take a piece of tape and tape this ice maker cover out of the way so we can see inside there. Now that we have the door taped up, we can take out the air duct and the access panel on the back. We're going to take the access panel off first. It's held in by a couple clips to the back wall. So we're just going to take a putty knife and get behind it and release them. Once you have it out a little bit, you can just reach in with your hand and undo the other one. Once you have it released, you can pull it down and out of the freezer. With the back panel out of the way, we can remove the air duct. We're going to use our 1/4-inch nut driver and remove these two screws that hold it to the top of the freezer. As you're taking the second screw out, you want to reach in and grab it so it doesn't fall. Or you're going to drop the back half down and kind of roll it out so it doesn't hit the ice maker. Now that we have access to the air diffuser on the freezer side, we have to pull out this little air duct. It's just snapped in there. All you have to do is pull it out and set it aside. And then to remove the air diffuser, there's 4 locking tabs that you kind of got to grab with all your fingers at once and pull them into the center and then push it through to the fresh food section. So once you have them released like this, then you can reach in with your other arm and pull it out through the refrigerator side. Now that we have the diffuser assembly out, we have access to both the thermistors. One of them was hanging into the freezer compartment, and the other one was mounted right here in the cover. On certain models that have the dials where you have to change the temperature, your thermistor is located inside the control panel. There's 4 screws, 2 on each end. You have to remove and drop the panel down in order to get access to the thermistor. Usually when you're changing these thermistors, a lot of people change them both at the same time. So the one in the freezer is really easy. All you have to do is unplug it and disconnect it to pull it off. The one in the refrigerator is a little bit more work because you have to take the tape off and stuff. So we're going to remove this tape and pull the thermistor out of the cover. And then in order to get the wire harness from back here, we're actually going to have to cut these 2 strips of tape. You want to be very careful and don't cut any of the wires. Once you have the tape cut, you can disconnect the plug and pull the thermistor out. Here's the old thermistor next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Looks like they changed the color of the thermistor tip, but that shouldn't affect anything and it'll work just fine. Now we can put the new thermistor on. All we have to do is plug it into the wire connector. You want to make sure you push it all the way in, get a good connection. And then since we cut the tape that holds this big wire bundle together, we have to wrap it with some electrical tape so it all holds together underneath that cover. Once you have it taped back together, then we have to mount the thermistor into the cover. All you have to do is press it down into the hole right there. Once you have it in place, we're going to wrap a small piece of tape around the wire and hold it down just like the original. Now that we have this one mounted, we can put the freezer one on. Same as the refrigerator one, just make sure it locks together and you get a good connection. And this one we're just going to feed through the hole in the refrigerator wall, and then we can put the air diffuser back in. When we put the air diffuser in, we have to feed the thermistor through first. There's a little bump right here on the bottom of the airway that goes in between the freezer and the refrigerator. If you follow that through, it'll actually come through the hole on the other side in the freezer. If you just throw it through the hole, when you put the air diffuser in, it's going to jam it up. So very carefully line it up with the little bump and push it through the freezer section. It should come through the hole underneath the rectangle, not through the rectangle itself. Once you get it fed through there pretty good, we can lift up the air diffuser and push it into place. Once you have the air diffuser started, you want to make sure you have enough slack in the thermistor wire to come along through this channel right here and make sure that's routed like this. Once you have the thermistor in place, you can push the air diffuser in and lock it into place. Once you see all 4 feet lock on the other side, we can put this air vent back in. All you have to do is line it up and push it in, it'll snap in. Once you have it in place, you want to make sure that the thermistor runs down just where it was before. It can go, right there next to that air vent and that little white support bar. Once you have it in place, we can put the covers back on. We're going to put the back panel and the duct in the exact opposite as when we took them out. We're going to put the duct in first and then do the back wall. So we're going to put it in here and line it up. Got to feed the front through first on top of the ice maker, and then slide the back over and lift it up so we can put the screws in. With the air duct in place, we can put the back panel on. All you have to do is line it up and slide it up into the air duct little cutout there. Once you have it in place, you can push it in so it locks into those little tabs on the back wall. Now that we have the air duct installed and we don't need to see in there anymore, we can take the tape off the ice door and lower it back down. To put these shelves in, same as when we took them out, we're going to have to lift them up at an angle and get the back into the channel. Once you have it in place, you can lower it down. Once you have them both in place, we can close the door and go over to the fresh food section. On the refrigerator side, all we have to do is put the covers back on. To put this cover on, you want to make sure that this tab goes into the back wall, and then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screw in. Then we can put on the long cover that covers up the wires that go from the air diffuser up to the control panel. Now that we have the part installed, you can close the refrigerator door, plug the refrigerator back in, and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.